All right, studio time check says it's 37 minutes past 6 a.m. Today, the 24th day in June 2025. Good morning to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. I most sincerely apologize for bringing the show about 7 minutes late due to certain issues, but we say thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you for being patient. It's time for Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We're broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. This beautiful morning, you can watch us live on Facebook, on YouTube as well. On Facebook, we're at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, and on YouTube, we're at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Okay. Also, feel free to drop your comments on our Facebook and YouTube live chat as well. Don't forget to like, to share, and just comment generally. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola, and this morning we'll be taking a look at the headlines making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. We'll be discussing these headlines, discussing these stories, going deeper into the stories, helping you make sense of some of the stories making the rounds this morning, okay? And I have the front page of the Punch newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, and I also have the front page of the Guardian newspaper. We'll start with the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. The lead headline says, NUC, flawed process, false disclosure, rock causes, varsities accreditations. That story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. More headlines, reactions trail demolition of our church massacre victims cenotaph. That's on page 7. EFCC arrests ex-NNPC chiefs over alleged $7.2 billion fraud. That's on Panorama page 2. More headlines, African leaders, activists hinge political apathy on bad leadership. That story is on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. More headlines, Abuja safe, no cause for alarm. Federal government assures amidst U.S. travel warning. That's on page 6. PDP chiefs dismiss ADA coalition as weak attempt to oust Tinubu. That's on page 4. Casualties from Plateau killings rise to 22. That's on page 30. Insecurity, Tinubu urged to investigate alleged complicity of security chiefs. That's on page 29. And finally, June 12, Yoruba group Aneni accused Lamido Ononuga of distorting history. That story is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, very few headlines. And we see this, Akeredolu's wife, Ondo government, palace, trade words over demolition of Owo Church massacre monument. It's a request by the palace. That's from the Olowo Council. No communications on the development. That's from the church. And finally, we are respecting tradition. That's from the Ondo government, and that's on page 3. More headlines, alleged $7.2 billion fraud. EFCC arrests ex-NNPC's chief financial officer, ex-Warri Refinery MD. That story is on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. And on the foreign scene, Iran launches missiles at U.S. base in Qatar. That story is on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. And on the front page of the Punch newspaper, very few headlines as well. Factional fires. PDP governors meet INEC amidst neck tensions. That's on page 2. Tinubu's Electricity Act. 7 states take charge of power regulation. Fears as experts, consumer groups foresee glitches. Oyo, Enugu, others take control. That story is on page. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. All right. Earlier when I said we, of course, I didn't mean me, myself, and I alone. We have our analyst in-house, our in-house analyst, Chukeme Kamunachi, who is also our news editor. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bola.
How do you do?
I'm okay.
All right. Just yesterday, I was on a bike, and the person wanted to get petrol. So we noticed that about 2 to 3 petrol stations around this Oluyole axis were, loading fuel. And later on, because yesterday it was sold for about 884 naira. And on going to buy the petrol, we realized it had gone up to 935 naira. Have you noticed that there's been an increase in the
Yeah,
price of petrol?
some people even bought at 9.55. Because of the what is playing out in the Middle East, a lot of people believe that fuel will definitely go up. We are very fast in reacting to negative things in this country. So, and because of that threat that Iran will close the Strait of Hormuz, where ships will no longer pass, we quickly reacted. People adjusted their pump price, but let it be that the price has crashed. You can't see such a thing. Nigeria is a strange country, honestly speaking. And believe you me, like I was telling somebody somewhere that it will not play out, because at the end of the day, it will still come down. It's just a reaction of what is going on in the international arena. But let's watch till the end of this week, because already there's a call for ceasefire in the Middle East. Israel and Iran. They are now talking that there will be a ceasefire, and those speculators who believe that oil will keep on rising will be disappointed. But like I keep saying, what goes up in Nigeria hardly comes down. And is a pointer to the fact that we don't have a system where things are stable. Dangote came up over the week, ex-depot price from 800 to 825 per litre. And this is compiling financial strain on Nigerians. And also it jacked up the transportation costs and the cost of living. Because where you go with 200 naira now, they will tell you it's 300 naira. Okada people. And you don't blame them, because they too must cash in the situation and make their own kill. So this pricing, this thing you just said now, I don't think it will fizzle out by the special grace of God before the week runs out, if there is stability, because they are just reacting.
All right, if you're just hearing about this, yesterday, retail outlets under the nameplate of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, that's the NNPCL, effected an upward adjustment in the pump price of PMS, that's petrol, to about 945 naira per litre in the FCT. In Ibadan here, we had several filling stations, not the NNPC though, that we verified, but we had several filling stations selling at 935 yesterday. And yes, in Lagos, we learned that petrol is selling for about 915 naira as well, from the previous price of between 870 naira to 885 naira, and now petrol is from 910 naira to 955 naira. This has been effected in all NNPC outlets, Dangote's partners like MRS as well, and almost basically everywhere. And this price adjustment, just like our analyst said, is coming just days after the Dangote Petroleum Refinery increased its ex-depot price of petrol from 825 naira to 880 naira per litre. And obviously, this is the response, with what we are seeing here. We'll monitor definitely the pricing of petrol and see how it moves over the next couple of days, taking a look at this week. All right, but let's take a look at some of the headlines making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. The lead headline on the Punch newspaper says Tinubu's Electricity Act, 7 states take charge of power regulation. Now, they say power sector operators and experts have raised concerns, expressed fears and projected opportunities as some states assumed responsibilities for regulating electricity markets within their various domains. This followed the recent revelation by the NERC, that's the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, that 7 states now control their electricity markets in accordance with the Electricity Act 2023. So the states are Enugu, Ondo, Ekiti, Imo, Oyo, Edo, and Kogi. Also, states like Lagos, Ogun, Niger, and Plateau are expected to complete their transitions between June and September. Anambra also, that recently passed the electricity law, is also gearing up to join the list. So right now, basically what it means is that states have the authority to control and regulate electricity within their domains, and this grants them the freedom to generate, transmit, and distribute power. This is what we saw your state here, where we learned that we're generating some electricity, which there was some argument about, because they said we're generating electricity and we're going to be giving to the secretariat.
Okay. How do you generate the electricity in Oyo? Is it this thing they put on the main road?
No. Oyo State is generating electricity.
Okay.
But a little bit. I'm not sure of how many watts now, right? However, it was said that it will be given to the secretariat. So they will disconnect the secretariat from the general. But now, many people said, why the government secretariat? Why not give to government schools? Why not give to maybe the government hospital?
Well, Oyo State they may have the reason for what they are doing, but let me just let's look at that Electricity Act, which has given control to states is a shift from the norm, where it has granted states freedom to generate, transmit, and distribute power. I met this growing up as a child. We didn't have this central, you have the East Central State Electricity Generating Plant. We are gradually going back to what we ought to be doing to make this country move forward. Because unitarianism will never help Nigeria. Now, it's a welcome development, and I give kudos to the president, but there's a lacuna in the act, in the area of clarity in regulation, and also the fact that NEC, that is the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, may not be relevant again in the whole matter. But that is a good one if all states will key into this project and begin to, so that we don't have to be complaining that this one
the national grid.
National grid. Let every state like what they did in Abia State. This Bartholomew Naji, what he did in Abia State. I hope other states will replicate such thing in so that the states we have. We now know if there's no power in Oyo State, we now know that Oyo State is actually not doing what it ought to do to generate power in the state. It's a good one. When somebody does something good, you say it's good. This is a very good one for this from this administration.
Now,
I like it, except if we don't have glitches. Because, in Nigeria, our problem is not starting out. Our problem is ending well.
Now, which brings me to talk about maintenance.
That's what I'm saying, ending well. And, we don't have maintenance culture. That is, Bola, do you know I won't mention the name of the place I went to, but this is your state. I was crying. How do we spend this kind of money to build this kind of thing, and lizards are occupying those places with area boys smoking anything smokable, and nobody is there? And why, even if you are not using it, why can't you reform it and give it to people who are homeless? And we spend money building that, and it's everywhere. It's not just in Oyo State. Our problem has been maintenance. We don't have that maintenance because we have not actually defined ourselves as a country. We have not actually defined that this is our national asset and we must maintain it. That's why you hear vandalization all over the place. People vandalize what belongs to government, not knowing that this belongs to them also, but because they have been self-franchised, they have been abrogated, they don't believe that they have a stake in the state. That's the reason why you see all these things all over the place. Maintenance is the problem. This thing we are doing now, this electricity stuff we are talking about, is a good one. But let's see how it plays out in the long run.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Also, there have been, concerns that when it comes to states generating, electricity, do you think that in the long run this will affect, positively the pricing of electricity?
You see, that's a very big question. The price will not be uniform again. You understand? That's one thing. You have deregulated it. Every state will now
fix their own price.
You see, gradually we are going back to true federalism, if you ask me, because we are tired already. The center is tired. You cannot keep on piling things on your plate, which you cannot handle. They are tired. And I'm looking for a way where this thing will also trickle down to education, to every aspect of this country, even to state policing, so that we know that, yes, we have started. You understand? So that pricing you just mentioned is where there will be, like we normally say, the cocoa of the matter. You understand? We don't know how they're going to they will fix the price, but I believe it will. We are going to have teething problems along the line, but we'll get better. You understand? And I pray that the state will give that work to people who actually know what it takes to do such a thing, not just appointing people because of political patronage, and they go there and ruin the whole thing, and they don't know what to do. So let them give people who are knowledgeable in that field, knowledgeable people who know what it takes to run such a thing. Let them give it to them, and when they come up with their pricing, let's look at what goes on. And at the end of the day, I believe if the people believe, and the thing is that Nigerians are people who will pay. If you give them exactly what you say you will give them. No, the problem is that you make promises you don't keep. You tax people and you don't supply. How will people be happy? That is the issue. But Nigerians, if they see that you are actually fulfilling your own end of the bargain, they will pay. People will tell you that let's give them. But the problem is that you make promises, people pay for what they don't get. That's where the problem is.
All right, thank you so much. If you're just tuning in, this is Wells Radio 89.3 FM, and the program you're listening to is Perspectives Unlimited, where we're taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria this morning, okay? And we're taking a look at a couple of stories that are making the rounds across the different dailies. There's this headline here that says, Abuja safe despite U.S. travel advisory. This is also on the Punch newspaper. This is from the federal government. Now, the federal government has assured citizens, residents, and visitors that Abuja remains safe. This assurance followed the recent travel advisory issued by the United States Embassy, restricting non-official visits by its staff to military and government facilities in the FCT. So the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said there was no cause for alarm, adding that Nigeria's security agencies were fully engaged in keeping the FCT and the rest of the country secure. Is the FCT really safe? We hear news almost daily of people being kidnapped. Apparently, some people even being kidnapped from their homes. And the Minister of Information has come out to tell us, well, that despite the U.S. Travel advisory, I think based on what happened in Benue and Plateau, that their officials should not visit and they should be careful.
Go near military sites.
Yes. And the minister, we're not even here. We've not even heard from the minister of the FCT, but we're hearing from Minister of Information and Orientation that Abuja is safe.
No. You see, America may know what we don't know, and they hear and they read some of these atrocities going on in our country. So, in order to secure their people, that's why they give out that advice that please don't go near military. Because we are not safe. If the Minister of Information is saying we are safe, he's just saying what you should say as a minister. But we know that we are not safe. Look at the people that we are going for wedding and they were killed in Plateau. Look at another one again. This transport company, Benue Links, 11 people kidnapped. Was it yesterday? We are not safe. You understand? So if the minister is saying the contrary, everybody knows that people want to travel to Lagos right now. Here from how many hours? You organize a prayer, call prayer warriors to be praying for you. If we are safe, why are we praying just to travel? You understand? People go home. Look at the prayer requests of many people in this country. Every evening I was passing through. I come to work very early in the morning. I leave my house 4:30, and I pass through some areas. You hear people praying early in the morning. You come and see. Thank you for that. I go out today. I will come back in peace. Are we supposed to be praying that kind of prayer?
Which is not a very light prayer in Nigeria, because that's just the truth.
I say you hear people when you are passing, and they will be shouting on top of their voices as if God is deaf. As I go out this morning, I will come back in one piece. My children will go out today and will come back in peace. Are we supposed to be praying that kind of prayer if we are safe? The minister is being economical with the truth. We are not safe. And I keep saying it, this administration must. Because, the president rolled out 2,000 tractors to farmers. it distributed tractors to farmers in several states. Now, you are giving them these tractors to go to farm. Is the farm safe? We are talking of agri reforms. The first reform should be securing where farmers will go to farm. Where you give them, are they going to use it in their compound? Are they going to use it in the market? Is it not in the farm they will take the tractors to? And the people are being kidnapped in the farms. So the most important thing, let's do the fundamental first. Do the fundamental, secure the farm, secure the space where farmers will go to farm. Not that they will go there and these people will go there and kill them. So the tractors you have given them, yes, we've read about it, we saw it, but where are they going to take the tractors to? Will they park it in their compound, or will they be using it to go to market and come back home and say, after all, the federal government has empowered us with tractors? They are for use somewhere, and that place is not secured. That's why I keep saying that we must do the needful. Secure the space first. My people say, you must get land first before you go and struggle for mat. If you get mat without having land, are you going to hang the mat on your head? That is the most important thing. Secure the place first, then give them tractors. So, and the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, is saying that hunger, poverty, they are the reason why there is insecurity. Of course, it's true. A hungry man is an angry man, and he can put his hand into anything. You understand? Secured, let Nigeria be secured. We have, our lands are arable. We can farm anywhere. And you look at the north, everywhere, as you travel there, vast expanse of land. But they can't farm. You don't blame them. Nobody wants to go to farm and die. And you are giving them tractors where they will use it. It's not safe. So that's the problem.
All right. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka. Which is very true. This is something that many Nigerians have been shouting about, have been talking about for a long time. Insecurity is it's like the bane of our existence in Nigeria right now.
It is. It is the fundamental problem that we have. People cannot. Do you know there's some people that they can't, people that have been going to Lagos from Ibadan here, they work in Lagos. Do you know many of them now decided to be living in Lagos, sleeping in the offices because of the danger of being kidnapped along the way? You wake up early, but before, I know a lot of people
living in Ibadan,
work in Lagos. Yeah, in the evening they'll come back. Oh boy, are you back? Yes, I'm back. Tomorrow I'm going again. Because the roads are safe. But now, can they try it? You won't try it,
All right. If you're just joining us, it's Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We'll be taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. We're still coming back to talk about what happened in Ondo State, where the government demolished the Owo Church Massacre Memorial Cenotaph. But we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Give your child the gift of excellence at Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Are you searching for a school where top quality education meets care, love, and safety? A school where skilled professionals ignite young minds in an environment that stimulates learning, creativity, and moral growth? Do you desire a school that offers rich academic curricula designed to prepare your child for local and international examinations, opening doors to future success both within and outside Nigeria? At Juniors International School, we don't just educate, we discover and nurture each child's unique aptitude while molding them into highly productive global citizens driven by godly principles. Join us on the journey of raising tomorrow's leaders. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Friday, 1st August 2025. Venue: Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time: 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Yomi on 0706 616 5053. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back. Studio time check, 4 minutes past 7 a.m. It's still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. We've been talking about so many things. We talked about the Electricity Act and the power it gives states to regulate their own electricity. We've also talked about the state of security because we've had the Minister for Information and Orientation tell Nigerians and the U.S. citizens that contrary to the U.S. travel advisory, Nigeria is safe and secure. Well, especially the FCT is safe and secure. We've also spoken about the pricing of petrol, and we're going to talk now about what is happening in Ondo State. But before then, I'll reel out the studio lines. You can be a part of the conversation this morning by calling us 0916 893 1000, 0915 333 4893, and 0911 3333 893. I'll take the numbers again: 0916 893 1000, 0915 333 893, and the last number 0911 3333 893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the show this morning. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think about the stories, what you have to say to the government, and please, when you call, let's try as much as possible to be very decent in all that we say. All right, now, the Ondo State government, the headline, this is on the Nigerian Tribune. It says, Ondo government demolishes Owo Church Massacre Memorial Cenotaph. Now, 3 years after the building of the Memorial Park to immortalize the slain worshippers of St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church in Owo by terrorists, the cenotaph was at the weekend demolished by the Ondo State government. The destruction of the cenotaph, constructed by the late Rotimi Akeredolu to honor the victims of the attack, was said to have been carried out by the present administration following a series of complaints by the people of the ancient town of Owo. In a viral video, bulldozers were seen destroying the cenotaph and bringing down the structure where the names of the victims were inscribed in memory of the massacre. It was gathered that the memorial park, built directly opposite the Olowo of Owo's palace, was greeted with criticism and resistance from residents who opposed the siting of the cenotaph directly opposite the traditional ruler's palace. They described the location as a taboo against Yoruba culture and tradition and requested that the state government, led by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, relocate the cenotaph. Many residents of the ancient town hailed the decision of the state government to demolish and relocate the memorial park to another area, saying that it would be better sited at a different location than in front of the palace. Now, among their grievances were that the cenotaph was against Yoruba cultural values and tradition, and that it had no economic benefits to the town other than to constantly revive memories and pains of the beloved victims of the dastardly act. This is very dicey, Chukwemeka. What do you think about this?
Well, there are many questions, to be asked. When Rotimi Akeredolu of the blessed memory built that cenotaph, the palace was there. Why did they not tell the governor, don't build this thing here? Why? Why did they wait for a new administration to come in before they began to protest? Now, they say the cenotaph is not of economic value, and I learned they want to build market in that very spot. You say it's against tradition. Which aspect of tradition is the remembrance of the dead against? This thing, and we are even measuring in the minor. The people who committed the heinous acts, 3 years have not been arrested. Go and check it. They have not been arrested. The palace was not interested in the arrest of the people that massacred innocent worshippers in a church. But we are kicking against what will make children yet unborn to remember that something happened here, and you are bringing tradition and culture into it. Well, I'm not a Yoruba man, so I don't know whether it's against Yoruba culture or tradition. But I know that we are Africans, and we respect the dead. And whatever we do in remembrance of the dead is always approved. You understand? So I don't know which aspect of Yoruba culture or tradition. I want somebody to call and tell us in this aspect of culture, Oba is not allowed to be seen cenotaph or something. I'm still waiting to hear somebody who... But why is it that... I was having a conversation with one of my good friends. I won't mention his name on air. He said, that is what you get when you vote. When they give you money to buy a wedu and amala, you vote. You vote in people who will not... Who will just wake up and be swayed by any sentiment to do what they ought not to do. In fact, I'm not from Ondo State, but I believe that there is no point removing that thing from that. Now, when you remove it and take it to another place, will you tell children yet to come that, oh, this is where the thing happened? Cenotaphs are always erected where the exact thing happened, because it becomes a sacred place, a place of remembrance, a place where people will come and say, oh, this thing happened here, and people can offer their prayers. You understand what I'm saying? And say, oh, may the soul of the departed rest in perfect peace. The person will go. Now we are removing it from where the thing happened. If they built the thing, if they build the market there, will the spirit of the dead not even disturb the market? Let's see how the market will thrive. When you are laughing, honestly speaking, because I don't know. The people are still there. If traditionally speaking,
you say their spirits
are still there. You understand? So you are violating. You don't even want them to be remembered. You are violating their memory. Everything about them. You don't want people to know that this thing happened here. My question is, was the palace not there when Akeredolu was building the thing? Why did and Akeredolu, thank God, he's not a Nupe man, or so, he's a Yoruba man. So he should have known that, oh, you're not supposed to cite this thing here. Why did they wait till this time? And even the people who did this thing have not even been arrested. That's not the concern of the monarch. The concern is that this thing should not be here.
All right, 0916-893-1000. This is one of the numbers you can call. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name and where
These
you
are the
calling from?
information.
All right. Good morning,
On the
Aderonke. How are
issue
you
of
doing?
petrol, it's so sad that we have started having an increase in the cost of petrol, which is not supposed to be. Just take a look at it. As at on Sunday, that a bag of rice was 65,000 naira. Today, now, as at yesterday, it was now 74,000 naira. Due to the event that there will be an increase in the price of petrol. So what are the refineries we have? What are the refineries we have? Had it been they are working now? We won't be facing all the issue of the petrol of it. So may God help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Aderonke. And Aderonke brings to mind the fact that isn't the Warri refinery supposed to be working?
Yeah, no, there's none. You understand? We can't even. That's why
We're supposed to have 2 refineries working.
yes, worry. No, it's 3. We're supposed to have 3, but they are not working. Now let's go back to the. Now, do you know what? You remember Okafa in Isolo, in Lagos during the Ikeja bomb explosion and everything. You know they built a cenotaph also for the victims, people who were jumping into the canal. So yeah, and do you know the worrisome aspect of what these people said? They say it's not of economic value. It is not. Are they going to be bringing? Is it an oil well? So if we remember the dead, if we remember them, now you want to bring markets that will be of economic. Tomorrow now they will wake up and say the noise of the market is disturbing the. I don't. There are certain things.
When it comes to tradition, we need to bear in mind that it's according to the state government, the Olowo in council. That's the highest traditional. Body
in that environment,
that requested for it to be removed.
Why was he not there when Rotimi Akeredolu of blessed memory built it? That's my question. Was he appointed yesterday? No. Was he appointed into the office yesterday? Was he not there when dignitaries gathered there? And I knew he was part of it. He will come because he will invite him. The thing happened in his domain. Was he not there? Why didn't he kick and say, no, don't do this thing here? And I believe Akeredolu must have listened to him. But he kept quiet. That's what I'm saying. Was he appointed yesterday? That's the question.
All right, you can join the conversation this morning, 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation this morning. We're talking about Ondo State and the demolished cenotaph. Now, moving on. Police deploy drones to rescue 12 abducted Benue passengers. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
God bless you.
Amen. Amen.
Madam, good morning.
Good morning, sir. All right, so that was just a call to pray for us. Thank you so much for that. God bless you too. This story says the Benue State Police Command on Monday said it had deployed drones to track down the location of the 11 passengers and driver abducted in Eke in Opoku local government area. Opoku, thank you, local government area of the state. Apparently, gunmen suspected to be kidnappers, or who are kidnappers, because at this point,
nobody
suspected
knows.
to be. They've taken people away,
Yes.
and so that's what they are. Around 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, abducted 11 passengers and a driver of a vehicle that belongs to the Benue State Transport Company known as Benue Links. Now, away from all of the things that happened, we're hearing that the Benue State Police says it has deployed drones, and this brings me back to something that one of our callers said one day. The person said the Nigerian police and military need to stop doing their tactical exposing their tactical plans on the pages of newspapers. Now, they have said that they've deployed drones.
Imagine.
Obviously, those people now know to look out
for drones.
For drones.
Why are you telling us that you have deployed drones? The most important thing that will matter to us that you brought back those people. You understand? It's not a question of what you are using. Whatever you want to use. But the most important thing is bring them back. That is the thing. But when they come and display these things on the pages of newspapers and everything, you begin to wonder, how are they really trained? Now, the other day, the CDS came out to say they're on a manhunt. If you're on a manhunt, are we supposed to know you're a manhunt? It is when you... And now they have arrested a lot of people, but they have not taken them to court. That's why Femi Falana is kicking. Why have you not taken these people to court? Is there anything fishy? Are you afraid that if they go to court, they will spill the bean? I don't understand. You have people committed, they massacred human beings, and yes, thank God for the police that went after them and they caught them. Now, those police people that arrested these people, and you are still keeping them, you are not taking them to court. Don't you think the police people will be demoralized? That that's what happens if we arrest them, they don't do anything.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from. All right, it seems that...
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Please call us back, okay? 0916-893-1000. That's the first number. 0915-333-4893. That's the second number. And 0911-333-3893. I'll take that last number again. 0911-333-3893. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. You're welcome. We can hear you.
Can't hear you at all.
Uh-oh. All right. Please call us back. Let's take this call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning to our analysts in the studio. So am I Sheriff Nara?
You're welcome, Mr.
Regarding
Sheriff.
the issue of insecurity, I also read it that the NSA, Nigerian Security Advisor to Mr. President, also said that poverty and hunger is also quelling insecurity. Thank God that you know the truth. But my question is, now that you know the truth, we're so glad that if you can tell the Mr. President the bitter truth about what is going on in Nigeria, that the incompetence of the current APC government at the federal level, that the major causes of the challenges that they are facing now. And Mr. President, it's the right time to use political way to end the insecurity that we are battling in Nigeria right now, other than 2027 election. That's my own submission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suleiman Sheriff. The phone lines are still open, 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. We can actually hear you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. You're welcome. Your name and where you're calling from, please. You're welcome, Mr. Inka. Please go ahead.
Kayode.
Mr. Kayode.
Hello.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead. All right, we lost that call. I would advise Mr. Kayode to call back on any of these two numbers, 0915-333-4893. But I think he's the one calling back. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day to you.
And
Good
you
morning,
too.
sir, Mr. Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Benga.
Yeah, this is Ngemari calling from Apache. Let me start from that our story that you read. I think to me, if Akeredolu should be alive by now, do you think the person that has gone to demolish that structure, do you think the person would have done such? If Akeredolu were to be alive, nobody there does that. You know, that you say in Yoruba that when somebody dies, that they becomes a statue. So the thing is that the family of Akeredolu that erected that building in the memory of the late Ondo State people, our people those that died in their memory. Do you think the families of Akeredolu, do you mind how they will be feeling for now? As in their feelings, they'll be like, oh, if not for the death of our father, this wouldn't have happened. That's number one. Number two, the families of the slain of the massacre, what would have been? That means they are trying to bring back their wounds, their forgotten wounds, because their names were erected on it. And that goes a long way. So to me, that act being done by whoever that does that, it's highly condemnable. Because like what Chukwemeka said, the palace of the Oba of the king was there before they erected that particular whatever. So I think to me, it's a disservice to people of Owo and to the people of those that lost their loved ones. And quickly, I want to speak on the issue of the PMS. There is increase in the price of the PMS now. Yesterday, now I bought for 955 naira. And they told me that in the coming weeks, it's going to be sold for 1,000 naira and even beyond. And the question that comes to mind is this. They claimed we have a refinery of our own. We have 3 that are working. The Kaduna refinery is working. Which one again? Port Harcourt refinery is working. Port Harcourt refinery is working. Now, remember that when the NFPC, when they were trying to commission the refinery, they went there with dancing, invited the president, Mr. President, and blah, blah, blah. Do you know that as you speak this morning, Mr. Shukemika, there is a manager, there is a CEO of NNPC, mainstream and downstream sector. I forgot his name now. It was alleged to have siphoned a sum of $29.7 billion that was meant to improve that particular sector. And the man is being allegedly accused of diverting the fund, and now they went to commission a fake refinery. If you have an optimal refinery that is working, we wouldn't be where we are today. Nigeria should just base up for this. Is not the problem caused by Tinubu. We should try and separate it. It's not caused by Tinubu. It's caused by those they appointed. Those are that sector who are diverting the money. And like the report I read this morning, that the man in question is children they were in abroad, and they are schooling there, and they are living largely. And now we in Nigeria, we are suffering buying fuel at going to 1,000 naira now. In the coming week, only God knows how much we have increased on that 1,000 naira that we are buying. And this is of Tinubu. And I will stop on this. Let Tinubu ensure that edge really rose. If edge rose, it will serve as a deterrent to others who are in that office, who will be occupying that office. Like Mele Kyari that was ousted. I think by now, Mele Kyari should have heard about the justice that have been meted on Mele Kyari. So one of the problems we have in this country is that there is usually no justice for corruption. There is usually no justice for evil doing. There is no justice for those that they have mismanaged the proceeds of the fund of the country. If there is, we won't be where we are today. So I'm appealing to Mr. President so that because this is going to be a slap on his administration. It was not him that did it, but those that he appointed did it. I don't know that people will not forget. So for him to correct those ills, he should try and ensure that he brings out justice to those who have perpetrated this evil act.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mari.
Let me respond to what you understand what I'm saying. You said you are mixing up the whole thing. It was not caused by Tinubu, and you are still asking Tinubu to intervene. Everything that happens in this administration is at the doorstep of Mr. Tinubu, Mr. President. So he cannot. You appointed them. Before you appointed them, you should have verified who they are. So if they have stolen trillions and trillions, when they go, no Nigerian will remember the man. It is your administration they will always be referring to. So you are equally responsible. And you are the one who will clean the urgent at the stable. So it is at his doorstep to do the needful.
All right. You can still be a part of the conversation this morning. Mr. Kayode, who was calling us, we just have very few minutes. But if you can get your call through, try to call 0911 3333 893. 0911 3333 893. We just have about 3-4 minutes left on the show, but if your call comes through, we'll definitely take it. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has refuted claims that security agencies manipulate election outcomes in Nigeria, insisting that such allegations are baseless and unfair. What do you say about this quickly? Well,
IGP Egbetokun has the right to air his views. Nigerians know who is manipulating election and who is not manipulating it. You understand? Let me give you an example. During the last presidential election, some people were prevented from voting.
Yes.
Police people were there and they looked the other way. What was that? Where was IGP? Look, Bola, these people should stop talking as if Nigerians don't have brain. They should stop it. Let them leave us with our hunger and the poverty and everything. But they should stop insulting our this thing. Our intelligence. Who did that one? Just one example I gave you. Who? And the man who orchestrated everything was absorbed. And they even promoted him and made him a chairman of, I don't know, the national chairman. You understand? So who did it? Why did the police not go after the character? He should stop doing that. He has not even told how many thousand guns were missing. He told Nigerians what happened to the guns. He said they should question him in camera. It should stop insulting the intelligence of Nigerians.
All right, thank you so much for that, Chukwemeka. It's safe to say that we can wrap it up here this morning on Perspectives Unlimited. Many stories still going on, but you can tune in by 12. That's at noon to our World News Bulletin to get details and updates on many of the stories, especially between what is happening in Iran and Israel. What are your speculations?
Well, I thank God that the madness is about to come to an end with this declaration of ceasefire. Because I tell people there is no war. War is a weapon of weakness. There is no nation will go to war and come out to be the same again. It's not possible. Even if you are defeating somebody, you have scars. Because if you are holding somebody on the ground, you are equally holding yourself. I believe that sanity will come to the Middle East.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Bola. May God save Nigeria.
All right, thank you to everyone who called, and to those who tried to call, thank you all the same. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. The sports crew is ready on ground to give you the latest, the freshest, and the best stories in the world of sports. Good morning to you, and God bless you. Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
Is unbeatable.